All right. We want to bring you to an opinion piece from the Washington Post, where columnist Megan McArdle writes, although working from home can be comfortable, new graduates, you should actually go into the office. I don't think she's going to be very popular for this piece.
All right, I'm triggered.
But just hear her out.
No, this is shocking.
Hear her out. And Andrew Ross-Sorkin, want to hear your thoughts on this as well. You talk to a lot of business leaders, and a lot of people are still working from home. Anyone who worked or schooled remotely during the pandemic knows the drawbacks of moving to video conference. The jerky, unnatural pace of conversation stifles spontaneity. The distractions of home make it easy for people to check out even when they want to pay attention. Over time, those deficits accumulate. You haven't made friends or built up a reservoir of goodwill with managers or peers that will carry you through rough patches. You didn't hear the gossip about your competitors that might alert you to opportunities or warn you off similar mistakes. You haven't listened to the war stories that teach you how to handle tricky situations or get roped into an interesting project because you were chatting to the right person at the coffee maker. When you depart, you aren't a fond memory, but just one less box on the Zoom screen. It's much easier to fire a box on the Zoom screen than the nice kid you ate lunch with last week. And as an entrepreneur of my acquaintance likes to point out, if your job can be done from the beach, it can probably also be done from Bangladesh by someone who makes a lot less money than you do. So, Andrew Ross-Sorkin, I'm wondering what you're hearing from the business community about this. I worry about young people not having that in-person experience, not making those mistakes when you walk in the door and really feel what it's like to interact with someone and develop those important relationships.
Well, look, I couldn't agree more with the author of this piece, and I think that the business community couldn't agree more with the author either. They want people back in the office. I can tell you from my own career, and I think I've told you the story before, but I was 18 years old. I had a 5-week internship at the New York Times with no intention of putting 2 words together, let alone a sentence. And an editor who had no idea who I was or how old I was bumped into me and overheard me talking about something and assigned me a story to write. That would never happen if I was living on Zoom. It just couldn't. It's an impossibility. And so there's no question building that rapport, building those relationships, it's something that can't happen. Having said that, could we live in a hybrid life where people work at the office 3 days a week as opposed to 5? Maybe. That makes some sense. And there is an argument to be made that, and some companies, especially tech companies, are making it, that they can access a more diverse group of workers if they can access them electronically all over the country. So there's going to be some of that, and there's going to be more and better tools. But I think that the truth is, at least, especially in the early sort of stages of your career, being with other people matters a whole lot.
I was going to say the early stages of the career, and Jonathan Lemire, let's bring you in. Early stages of the career, mid-level of the career. Even now, I mean, for me, what helped me all along was the personal interactions, getting to know people, not just my bosses, but middle managers, getting to know people that I worked with, building those friendships. But also, man, I mean, the intel that you pick up when you're just walking down the hall talking to somebody about a football game on Sunday. Yeah, did you see the game? And they go, oh, my God, yeah. Oh, by the way, did you hear that the company's thinking about X? No, how did you? Yeah, and the things that you pick up day in and day out. This is something, again, maybe people aren't interested in getting ahead at work. But if you are, then being there makes a big, or at least it did in my career, and I would guess everybody that is on the screen right now and everybody that has worked with people on the screen could all say the same thing. We learn more by being around other people.
Maybe I should try talking about sports at work. Maybe that'll help. No, but to Andrew's point, I had a similar experience where my first job out of college, I had an internship at the New York Daily News. It was meant just to be for the summer, but I was there, was able to do some good work, but also built some relationships with editors and colleagues. So at the end of that summer, they said, hey, we're still not going to hire you. And mind you, they're paying me about $200 a week. But they said, we'd like to just keep you around. Maybe you could just be an internship, keep your internship going for a while. And at that point, I had no other alternative. Either move back to Massachusetts or stay put. Well, that was September 1st, 2001. And I was in New York City, and 10 days later, covered, of course, the attack on the World Trade Center, and then from there stayed on for months and eventually was hired. But none of these opportunities would have happened if you helped build those relationships. And of course, that is much easier done in an office setting than over a phone or a computer screen.
We're going to find different ways of doing things, and I think, Andrew Ross Sorkin, it's going to end up where you said, somewhere in a hybrid. I know for women, this could be life-changing and career-saving to have the opportunity to work hybrid or work from home at times. And so there's that whole conversation that we haven't had. So I just want to put a frame around that. I also would say that if we were working from home 15 years ago, Morning Joe wouldn't exist. So there you go. Andrew Ross Sorkin.
Well, wait. Is that an argument then, I guess, for working from home?
Maybe.
Okay. I mean, for
this is a good point.
most viewers, they're
Andrew
thinking,
Ross
gosh,
Sorkin, thank you very much for being on this morning.